Hello everyone, welcome back to my channel Programming with a Purpose. In this part, I am going to discuss concurrency using async await and actor class. So for details of all of this, you can go to Swift documentation or follow the link that I'm going to mention inside the top information tab here. So basically, let's change the code and add the actor class here with the name keyword actor, and async task is going to be the name of the class. So basically async await is the paradigm that is introduced after dispatch group to replace it and to improve the asynchronous functionality of the tasks, usually the API calls and the backend work that we want to do asynchronously inside our Swift code. So here I'm adding some of the variables. These are the variables that you can mutate inside an actor, and an actor ensures that only one instance or one at a time a class or anything is going to access these variable values, which means that you cannot override it from two different locations, which obviously helps in the consistency of data. So here I'm copying the function fetch data using API, which we have added previously for our dispatch group. If you have confusion in the code, you can go back to part 1 and get a quick recap of the code that we have used here. So basically we are passing here a function, a callback, just like a completion handler, because we need to pass the response from this function and we cannot return the type, which I'm going to show you in a while. Why can we cannot return a type? So this is the signature of the finished closure that we want to pass here. So on line number 47, we are printing the response of the API. The APIs are the Accuweather APIs, which I have discussed in part 1, that how you are going to use them using an API key. So there is the response string JSON. I have set it inside a variable, and then we have called the callback, which is finished self.response string. Now when we are going to call this fetch data using API using an object of this actor class async tasks, we can basically get the value of the response. So here you can see there that we have set it is as at the rate of escaping. So you can see here the signature of the data task. It is going to return nothing but a void, and it is at the rate of escaping. So we need to add that. We cannot return from this function data using API without an escaping closure or completion handler. So this is the function definition of our fetch data using API. So now the class is complete. We are going to fold this class, and next we are going to start writing this function load data async. The function load data which we have previously used was using dispatch group. It was also asynchronous, but we are basically using it for the async await keywords. So see here what are the changes that I'm making to the previous code. First, we are going to create task 1, which is an object of the async tasks actor class. So here we are passing the URL in your query item, which is for the region and search APIs. Let's copy paste it again for the task number 2. So here we are passing here the URL query item search for task 2. These are the two APIs that are being used. So now I'm removing the function of the fetch API calls that we have used for the dispatch group. Now let create us a task group using this call with task group. Since both of these tasks are not going to return anything, so we have set it of type void.self. Now we are going to basically get task group inside this function, and we are going to add these two tasks to our task group. Follow all of these steps. Once we add the task, we are also going to call here the completion handler. Fetch data using API. So here we are going to get the response inside this finished parameter, and we are going to print it. So this is basically just to show you that how we are going to get a response from a function asynchronously. So here I'm just printing the size of the characters or bytes inside a string, which shows us that we have received a valid response. So response.count is printed here. Then we are going to add another task to this task group, which is going to be task number 2. So the string literal is unterminated. We have forgotten to add the double quotes at the end of this string. So let's add it on line number 78. Now we are adding here the task number 2, which is also going to give us the size of the response that we are getting in the terms of bytes or number of characters. So next we are going to call this function here load data async inside our view did load, because this is going to be our entry point inside this view controller. So it is going to give us an error that we need to, basically the parent function need to conform to async, and once we add that, it is going to create an error because view did load is not an async function. It is not overriding any method from its superclass, so we need to remove it. We cannot add it inside view did load. For that, we need to encapsulate our load data async inside a task object. Basically, we are going to pass it to our task class. So this is how it's going to be encapsulated, or task.init, which is going to make it async. Now the next error is basically we cannot call an async function directly without using the keyword await. So we need to add that on line number 17 before the load data async call. So let's add it here. And hopefully all the errors will be fixed. And now we can successfully run the code. I'm removing everything from the console. The UI does not contain any element. So here you can see that the total byte received are printed. 317 for one response and 1628 for another response. So it means that we are getting the value that we want. So this is the code for our actor class. You can go through it, and if there is any question or confusion, you can post in the comment section. So this is all for this video. I hope you have learned something from it. Do not forget to like and share this video, subscribe to my channel, and thanks for watching.